I am so irritated by the propaganda of UDA about mitumba. This is Samuel Mishira. Let's start from there. Should we be talking too much about mitumba, because we still spoke about it yesterday, but it seems like the conversation from Monday is continuing up to today.
You know, people are doing cheap politics with very serious issues. People are saying unemployment in this country, poverty in this country is a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
When the bomb goes off, none of us will be safe. And now, when Raila comes up with a suggestion to create employment, people are playing cheap about it. They are saying Raila is going to ban mitumba in the first 100 days. Would you grow cotton in 100 days? Upande pamba 100 days? Then it is ready, you harvest. You get a factory that died in the 90s or 80s, you revive it in 100 days. My friend, excuse me. It's a process Raila is talking about.
But I think
and what Raila is saying, my government, as Raila Odinga, will prioritize industrialization. Will pick up textile industry from where it collapsed. Okay. Which includes cotton growing. Which might also include modern ginneries. The old ginneries cannot function in the 21st century. This is something that can take a couple of years to realize. And what Raila is then saying is, at that point, people will happily put on new clothes. Okay. People currently selling mitumba will be happily selling new clothes and making a profit, and the country will be employing hundreds of thousands, if not millions of young people.
But some people are saying, some people are saying
cheapen something of that magnitude.
Some are saying,
I feel so annoyed.
They haven't been forced to put on mitumba clothes. There are people who want mitumba. There are people who want second-hand designer clothes.
Listen, at some point, we could even tell you not put on mitumba. Countries put down their feet to defend pride, national pride.
Isn't that dictatorship?
I said, no. Countries go to war because of small things. I said this yesterday. Yeah. So, if Manyora is the president, I will not be president of a country where our women go to Kikomba to shake underwear, pants used by other women, and the bras,
but maybe you can
and the socks. I've seen people. I don't know that is true. I've seen something on some WhatsApp circulating. Ruto's aides are somewhere in Kikomba buying mitumba socks. You know, you are cheapening a serious life and death matter. Whether this country survives or not depends on how we handle the economic mess we are in. Whether this country will be there tomorrow or not depends on whether we will give our young men and women something to do, something useful to do for a livelihood. Okay. Let's not play with this. But, so Raila is addressing a very serious thing. You can imagine, for example, from cotton growing, the farming will employ thousands of people. The transportation to the factories will employ people. The wholesalers, the retailers. When I was growing up, there are tailors in every village shop. A tailor, Cheriani singer, singer. Ile manual. They will. You are talking about 1 million, 2 million people being employed. And then when you follow up with this, with like the leather industry, you are saying, if every Kenyan is wearing a Kenyan shoe made in Kenya, you can imagine how many jobs we are talking about. From the livestock farmer in Northeastern, processing of the slaughterhouse and all those kind of things and value addition, to the factory, leather factory, to the processing of the shoes itself, to the wholesaling and retailing, and to the good old shoe repairer who has disappeared, because these things these plastics you can't repair. So Raila is raising a very serious issue, and some people are cheapening.
I think what I think Kenya Kwanza is pushing is why not give people the opportunity to choose? When you go to, let's say, our local manufactured clothing and shoes, they're quite expensive. Mitumba is cheap. Where should we start? By banning
go to America and choose what you want. Yes, go to America and choose what you want. Me, I want something, I'll get it from Kenya. You go and get it. You go to China, say I want something, it's my choice. Let me get it from China, from America. They will tell you this will not enter our country. This will enter. This will enter under certain terms and conditions called tariffs. Please, let people not cheapen serious things. Coming from people like who want to be president of this country and their supporters, I get very, very disappointed. And I'm sure I'm not alone. Because there is no country in the world that allows anything and everything to enter the country.
Okay.
Because of your choice. What are you talking about? So because you want to drive a car, you can take any car to Ethiopia. Okay, go and take it there. Ethiopia will tell you fine.
It's not possible.
Ethiopia will tell you fine. You are free to bring in a vehicle, but they will give you duty. You will not bring it.
DQ here sent us DQ sent us 1,000 shillings, and he says, "Big bro, memes proud of you. Democracy is the rule of the majority, but if that majority is uninformed, should they be allowed to form government?"
Even to die. You know, even you read the Bible and the Quran, especially the Bible, many people don't know. Some of these things that the do's and don'ts in the Quran, in the Bible, they were not necessarily religious. Wazee waliangalia wanaona watu wanaangamia. Swine disease is killing people. Then you put some taboo around it. Wazee wachache wanajilock in a room and say, "Oh, people will die." Let's give this on a religious angle.
Okay.
Let's say this. Let's put in the Ten Commandments, in the those things, the Deuteronomy. What is it called?
Deuteronomy and Leviticus.
Those are wise men, leaders of a society. So when you become a leader, you will have to make certain decisions, even without the majority knowing, in their own interest. That's why it means to be a leader. You cannot stream to Gikomba to buy socks to show you are with the people so that Raila does not get votes. Raila doesn't need votes. Raila can go home. Raila, for heaven's sake, is 77 years old. He has fought for this country. Nothing will happen to Raila if he doesn't win the election. But Raila is talking about the future of this country, about the children of this country, about the grandchildren he's leaving behind. It's not about him. The time for Raila to enjoy presidency was in 2007 and before. Just doing like Mandela did it for South Africans.
But how will he get the votes if he's not pleasing the majority of people?
That's why
close to 80% wearing mitumba.
Remember, Raila chose to lose the election because of Mao. He was looking at Kenya 200 years. And others were saying, "Kwani mvua inatoka kwa miti?" He said, you can deny me the votes, but I'm looking at the interest of the children of this country tomorrow. Mao shall not be destroyed. So he's saying, let us, of course things are taken out of context, and it's allowed in politics, but please let us have a limit of the things we can do and say. Let's not play with a matter of life and death, something that can destroy this. Unemployment. The textile industry, if you revive it, follow with the leather industry, and another and another. By the time you get to number 5, we shall be importing labor. We shall not have enough labor. Yes. If you give northeastern water, I keep saying Mandera, Garissa, Wajir, you add on Marsabit, Isiolo, you give them just water.
Okay.
They can employ 2-3 million people from the livestock industry through value addition.
I
cry when I'm in Mombasa. Naona ng'ombe inaingia kwa meli. Live. Mbuzi. I cry tears. How many jobs are those you are exporting? If you slaughter that animal here, through value addition, mpaka the hooves, the bones, the blood, everything, the skins and hides, you are importing thousands upon thousands of jobs. Is
this a conversation that Ruto 2 should raise in this year's election?
Earlier, there's a video also doing the round. He's saying we should ban mitumba and so on.
So look here, my maybe Simon has that clip.
With all this cheap cloth in Nairobi, all these plastic things from China, India, Turkey, especially Turkey and China, with all these plastic electronics in Ludhuli, how shall we ever create jobs for our children? This is a conversation we must have, and not focus on elections, because elections will come and go. The country will be there. This army of young unemployed people will be there. You think you'll stay in Lavington? I have said this repeatedly. God is clever. He created more of those people than the others. There are more in Kibra next to Karen than those in Karen. There are more in Kawangware than those staying in Lavington. God is clever. There are more in Madare than in Mudaiga. Why are these people not seeing these things? Do you see? Kibra, Langata, Karen. Lavington versus Kawangware. You see that? See? Hapo. Madare, Mudaiga. Mbona hawa watu wanaoni Loresho, Kibarage or something slums. God is not a fool. He creates a balance and he tells you, these are my people. They are poor. Take care of them.
Okay.
Take care of them.
Before we talk about Ruto, the master of politics, some say he's a good student of Moi. Let's listen to him speaking about mitumba and then get back to this conversation.
Yote tunaagiza, mambo ya viti tunaagisha, nguo tunaagiza, viatu tunaagiza, tutasimamisha ndio hiyo nguo na viatu na all wood products iwe manufactured katika taifa letu la Kenya, na vijana wa taifa letu la Kenya katika ile mpango ya kuzalisha mali tuweze kuondoa umaskini na tuajiri vijana wetu wote. Nyinyi mnanielewa jameni?
That is Deputy President William Ruto speaking about the same thing, now getting sharp criticism from Kenya Council towards Azimio's side after what Raila came up with a plan that will help this country grow. I'm thinking right now, is this politics, good politics? Because he said that about Mitumba. Some say he has learned the best when it comes to dealing with the people and getting numbers from Moi. Is this good politics?
You're going to get the numbers and be president in a country that's going to collapse tomorrow. Because let me tell you, some things you can't play around with. Because when you want to implement them, you'll get into big problems. There is nothing more than a disillusioned mass or army of unemployed young people. They will not give you 2 years. Let me tell Raila and Ruto, please, please, you do have less than 2 years to be kicked out of State House. Through impeachment, through a legal process, or through street impeachment. It's as simple as that.
We're heading there.
That's where we are. It's as simple as that.
We've never been there before.
If Raila gets the president or Ruto gets the, and they don't do something about the problems we are in today, they'll be impeached by parliament, or worse, by the people through what we call street impeachment, which you saw in Sudan the other day. It's going to happen in this country. We have no choice about it.
The fifth is going to go through a lot.
I told Raila Odinga, William Ruto, please, when you form government, look for intelligent people.
Huh?
Look for intelligent people. People who think differently. Not people who have been there before. No. The thinking in the world today is people get to a point when they have exhausted their best.
Okay.
So when you are looking for people because they have done something before, you are looking at people who have reached at their top, their best. They have nothing more to offer. Look for new people. Let them make mistakes, but let them move this country forward. What I've heard people say that these things cannot be done. And I've asked myself, so 6,000 shillings to 2 million vulnerable families is 100 and around 40,000 or so per annum. What is so difficult in a country where people steal 700 billion? You just need to turn off the tap of theft and you have money to give there. And yet it can be done. Giving people money who are vulnerable is a global phenomenon across countries, including hugely developed countries, including the US and the UK. Identifying who to give this money is not a miracle. We have the economic survey, National Bureau of Statistics. We have the number of households. Unlike Glad's boss Sholeo thinks there are 20 million households. The figures are there. Why can't you just go and find out from the national?
We should probably have a...
You see, so I'm saying it can be done. The money is there. Just stop the hemorrhage. Stop the money people are stealing. And you pay 6,000 and more. In fact, Raila is joking with 6,000.
Can do more.
20,000 shillings.
Per household?
Yeah, per household. Or at least 10,000 per person who's not working. And we will continually wean them off. See ati unapata leo mpaka December. As you get something, we remove you from the system. As you get a job, we remove you from the system. And that's how it works everywhere. And some people are arguing that you cannot give free education. How much money are people stealing in this country?
So it's all about theft.
Including the CDF we give MPs to play with. How much money is that? We give MPs money just to go and play around, called in the name of CDF. If you took that money directly to finance education, that's wonderful money. And there's a lot of other monies in the budget. I've already said primary school children can flag out items in the budget that have been padded there. You know, there's padding where you budget for corruption. You put money in a budget which is easy for you to follow and steal. That's why it's always very difficult for government to pay teachers like us, nurses and doctors well. Because if you budget money to pay Manyora, you can't follow it and eat it. But if you put it in some project, inafika pale wanakula. So you look look at the budget very well. You remove a lot of useless things from the budget, number one, and then you finance education.
Does Raila the person have what it takes? Uhuru in their campaigns 2013, 2017 spoke about this corruption. They said they will deal with it. They didn't. Should we expect Raila to
But
do
if you
the
look
same?
at a person and a man and their history, because we know we are not magicians, we are not prophets, we are not God. We can only take them for their word. If Raila says, but again, he's not just taking Raila for his word. And Ruto has steered clear of corruption. He does not mention corruption anywhere near his campaign. Okay, so I wonder this economic revolution. How will you do the economy of selling Ojwang unless you stop theft? If all money is being stolen, a dam that will cost 2 billion, you make it 20 billion. Pesa ya kufanya hivi vitu ingine itatoka wapi? So I'm saying, if I look at Raila and I look at his history, I look at Mother Karua, I look at what she has stood for over the years. I'm inclined to believe they can fight corruption. I could be wrong at the end of the day. They could go there and enjoy the trappings of power.
But history for you.
But history for me, sometimes that's all we have to go by. The Raila I know, and the Mother Karua I know. I'm willing to bet everything that they can fight corruption. But I could be wrong. The Ruto I know, compared to the Raila I know, I'm more likely to doubt Ruto's ability to fight corruption. Not because of anything. The history I have of him and the history I have of Raila. I will go with Raila being able to fight corruption. But I could be wrong. Ruto could prove you wrong. He could fight corruption and jail everybody, including maybe even his own family, if they have stolen. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
People have surprised others. But on the face of it, surely, you, Jadel, if you are asked, between Ruto, Gachagua, Raila, Mother, who can fight corruption? Just on the face of it, but just looking at the tickets.
I'm a journalist, I don't say.
Oh, yeah, I know.
opinion. I think this is a
I'm
good
also a
place.
political analyst. I don't say, but on behalf of Kenyans, I can give them some tip. They can see, because night and day, surely, you must be able to distinguish.